Welcome back to the Joseph Prosperity Strategy. The pain of wasted potential. Have you ever looked around your community and thought, there's so much potential here, so many talented people with dreams, but why does so little change? We pray for transformation, we desire impact, but often we ignore the engine that drives all great change, competence. In our world today, talent is common, but mastery is rare. People desire influence without discipline and wealth without wisdom. But purpose, real lasting purpose, always bows to excellence. And if there's one modern story that captures this truth on the grand African stage, it's the story of Aliko Dangote. The man who turned grit, discipline, and vision into an empire that feeds millions, employs thousands, and reshapes economies. Competence is kingdom currency. Or anchor is simple yet profound. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. That's not a suggestion, it's a command. All your might. Not halfway, not casually. Not when you feel like it. Because heaven doesn't just reward effort, it rewards excellence. The principle is this: competence is kingdom currency. Purpose without competence is potential wasted. Competence is what translates divine vision into tangible, sustainable impact. It's what made Joseph stand out in Potiphar's house. It's what positioned Daniel before kings. And it's what elevated Aliko Dangote. The world doesn't rise for ideas, it rises for those who execute them excellently. The making of a master builder. Let's trace the start of this empire. In 1977, a young Nigerian man borrowed $3,000 from his uncle to start a small trading business. That man was Aliko Dangote. He wasn't trying to be famous, he was simply trying to be faithful in the small thing. He started by selling sugar, cement, and rice. But his secret wasn't the product, it was the process. While others focused on quick profit and immediate consumption, Dangote focused on long-term mastery. He didn't just sell things, he studied logistics, pricing, and supply chains until he was a master. He learned what made markets move, how to control costs, and where the inefficiency lay. He reinvested every profit back into the business, scaling, diversifying, and refining his model until it controlled the entire value chain. Today, his group is a powerhouse. But beneath all that grandeur lies a simple truth: he mastered what he touched. Competence as strategic stewardship. Let's critically unpack Dangote's principle, because it's not just business, it's biblical strategy in disguise. 1. Faithfulness before fame. Dangote didn't chase visibility. He chased reliability. That's Joseph's principle. He who is faithful in little will be ruler over much. He built a reputation for trust and quality before he built an empire. 2. Focus over FOMO. He didn't jump from idea to idea. He built deep, unshakable roots in essential industries, cement, sugar, before expanding. True leaders don't chase trends, they cultivate mastery. 3. Delayed gratification. He reinvested profits instead of indulging in luxury. Kingdom leaders think legacy, not luxury. They understand that the resource is not for immediate pleasure, but for future purpose. Competence, therefore, is not worldly, it's spiritual stewardship. It is taking the ability God gave you and maximizing its potential for the benefit of the community. Joseph, the executive intelligence. We must rewind to Genesis to confirm this truth. Joseph had a dream, yes, but it wasn't his dream that brought him to Pharaoh's palace. It was his competence. He could interpret dreams, but more than that, he could organize nations. He created an economic plan that saved all of Egypt from famine. That's logistics. That's policy. That's executive intelligence. Pharaoh didn't say, "There is none so anointed as you." He said, "There is none so wise and discerning as you. You shall be over my house." Faith gave Joseph the revelation. Competence gave him the rulership. Mastery attracts influence. Every great leader understands this. You can't pray your way into places your skills haven't prepared you for. Prayer gives you favor, but excellence sustains it. Vision gives you direction, but competence gives you credibility. And that's where many purpose-driven believers fall short. We're anointed, but not always excellent. We're passionate, but not always prepared. Dangote doesn't just teach us business, he teaches us stewardship. He teaches us that greatness is predictable when you combine faith, focus, and flawless execution. You don't need to network your way into greatness. You need to work your way there with diligence, excellence, and divine purpose. How to build competence. That impacts how do you, the aspiring Joseph generation leader, build competence that transforms your community. 1. Develop depth, not just breadth. Don't be everywhere. Be effective somewhere. Learn your craft until you can teach it blindfolded. The world needs your mastery, not your mediocrity. 2. Think systems, not tasks. Dangote didn't just trade goods. He built systems, factories, distribution networks, and logistics chains. Ask yourself, am I building habits or sustainable systems? 3. Reinvest in growth. Use your current season to acquire the skills your next level will demand. What books, mentors, or training will sharpen your edge? Competence is a moving target. You must constantly reskill. 4. Serve before you shine. The world rewards those who solve problems, not those who seek applause. Make competence your ministry. Excellence is worship. Let this be your final thought. When you do your work with all your might, you are not just performing, you are worshiping. God is glorified when your results reflect His excellence. Mediocrity misrepresents heaven. Excellence is evangelism in action. When Joseph became competent, Egypt survived famine. When Dangote became competent, industries were built. Purpose isn't proven by passion alone, it's proven by productivity that blesses others. Final challenge. Today, perform a competence check. If God gave me a global platform tomorrow, am I competent enough to sustain it? Pray this: Lord, make me excellent. Teach my hands skill. Let my work reflect your glory. Make my competence a blessing to my generation. Because true impact doesn't come from noise, it comes from mastery. Competence is your calling card. Excellence is your altar. And your work, when done with all your might, becomes your worship. If you are ready to make excellence your altar, subscribe now. See you in the next video.